Shalom, friends. Today is September 3rd, 2016. It is also the second day of the sixth biblical month. We just finished having the new moon. It was seen in Jerusalem, and then it was also seen out here in the diaspora. It was seen out here by myself, and I've seen some other people online also that saw it on September 2nd here in the U.S. Today, I just quickly want to speak about something that we need to all be aware of, and something that's not really taught in the churches, and I myself was ignorant of it for a long time until I actually started reading my Bible, and that's the unfortunate split of the kingdom of Israel. Israel, during David's reign, it was unified. It was unified under the cost of a lot of bloodshed, and David had a lot of people trying to kill him, including Saul and other people also. But he found favor with Father, and he always kept Father in his thoughts and his prayers, and he relied upon Father to see him through this hard time, which is something that we all should take note of and do as we go through all the struggles that we go through in our lives, which is to stand firm and know that Father, He'll take care of us, as long as we do what we need to do also. And anyhow, so he unified the kingdom through much bloodshed and warfare, and it's amazing. After all of that he went through to do this, it was basically about 2 generations only before it was lost. It was lost, and there's a split occurred. So in Solomon's reign, it remained unified. However, though, by the time we get to Rehoboam, which is Solomon's son, we have a split, a division that happens. Towards the end of Solomon's reign, a prophet, I forgot which one it was, came to one of the captains of the armies, of Solomon's armies, and his name was Jeroboam. And he told Jeroboam that 10 of the tribes will be taken from the house of David and given to him. Once the prophet told him this, he basically had to flee into Egypt and hide from Solomon, so they wouldn't kill him. Once Solomon was dead, then he came back, and when he came back, he goes to Rehoboam, who was now on the throne, and he confronts him along with the rest of the house of Israel. And basically, they're trying to make terms as far as, Israel says, well, treat us fairly, and we will be your servants, which is very interesting because if you see there, it makes me wonder what was Solomon doing to his fellow brothers and sisters, that they had to come like this, how was he treating them, We know Solomon fell off in idolatry, and lusting after many women and stuff, and that they eventually in his old age led him off into idolatry. So was he also maybe messing up and mistreating his fellow Israelites? Did it have something to do with all the construction that he did with the house of Father and other constructions that he took part of? Where he was making it grievous for them. Because basically that's what they said. They said, lighten the load which your father has placed upon us, and we'll serve you. And Rehoboam, when they come with him with this, he goes to seek some counsel, and he goes to 2 different groups of people to find counsel. The first group he goes to is elders, a group of elders, and the elders tell him, well, hearken unto these people and give them what they want, and they'll serve you, But then again, he goes and he after that wasn't good enough for him. He goes and asks counsel of these younger guys. And of course, these younger guys who are more full of testosterone and not as wise and mature probably as the elders were, they tell him to basically tell these people that he answers them harshly. Things like, oh, my little finger will be thicker than my father's loins, or my father chastised you with whips and I'll chastise you with scorpions. So Once he answered them like that, of course, these people they decided to rebel against the house of David. And so they all went and they returned to their tents, and now we have Rehoboam considering going to war to try to unify unify the nation again. But as he's preparing for this battle, Father through the prophet comes and tells him that don't even think about it. He's not allowed to go at war with his brothers. This is something he ordained. So they don't go to war. So we have now we have the northern part of Israel. The northern kingdom, which is mainly the largest house there will be Joseph, and then we have the rest of the tribes, and then in the southern we have Judah and Benjamin. Judah and Benjamin most likely stuck together because of the geographical location of their lands. And basically Jerusalem, the city of Jerusalem, belonged to Benjamin, but it's an area of Judah. And also what's interesting about that is that Benjamin is the younger brother of Joseph. Joseph was the next to last son of Israel, of Jacob, and then Benjamin was the last one. And so they have the same mother, which is Rachel. Unfortunately, Rachel, she died giving birth to Benjamin. But so Benjamin basically finds himself opposed to Joseph in the north, and all the other tribes. So then what happens? What goes on and to happen here is that Jeroboam, to try to keep all the people following him and not coming back again to the house of David, he decides to set up some golden calves. And he sets up these golden calves, which are probably the same things that they were worshiping when Moses came down from the mountain after getting the Torah and stuff. He sets these golden calves, one in Bethel and one in Dan, and he tells everybody in Israel that they are to worship here, that not to go into Jerusalem. And he basically sets up a whole new religion of idolatry. And of course, this is basically going to lead, and it does lead up to their casting off, because they're basically doing everything against what Father told them to do. And so the nation of Israel, the 10 tribes to the north, are the first ones they're going to get scattered. And this is done by the nation of Assyria. I'm currently working on a paper right now to give more details, in depth, this whole thing that happened. It's almost done, and some real interesting things, and that as I'm doing a study that I've come upon, and just trying to find exactly what happened better, and I should be putting that out soon. But anyhow, with this study, once again, I just love it how I go back and look at these things, and now that I've walked a little further with Father, a few more years with Father, how I go back and I look at things and I start to see things I didn't see before. And I just love that about Scripture, how it's unsearchable. And I really enjoy just sitting down and reading and studying and just continuing to learn. It's never ending. Anyhow, I praise Father and I give him all the glory. And I'll get back to you guys soon. Until then, shalom.